is recovering at home. So I'd like to call the meeting to order at, what is it, 7:07? And we'll let the minutes show that I am the vice chair. I am here along with Paul Yeagood, Ken Dietz, and Ken Johnson. And our land use administrator, Donna Hayes, and land use clerk, Ty Kern.
And Paul Yeagood too.
I did
Minutes.
say Paul. I
Oh,
think
did you? Okay,
I so.
I'm sorry. My mistake.
I was looking at him when I said it, so. So the minutes of the previous meeting, does anybody have any corrections or comments?
I don't.
Hearing none, can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Seconded.
Thank you, Paul and Ken. So go on to new business. Item 4A is application 1254-21. Brian Baker for 1 Anderson Acre Farm. Brian?
Good evening, Brian Baker with Civil One, licensed engineer in the state of Connecticut. Also a certified professional in stormwater quality and erosion control. We prepared the plans for the Saltzes. This is 1 Anderson Acres Road. Am I able to share the screen?
Yeah, that'd be fine, Brian.
Okay. Give you, I'm sure some of you are familiar with the property. We'll just run through a little bit of the history. We had a couple applications in front of you over the last 10 years. Okay. So this is the current plan that has been submitted to you. It's 1 Anderson Acres Road, north side of Anderson Acres Road. Large wetland system in the back. This is the entire property. There were applications previously submitted in 2012 for the main house that has been constructed, the pond that was expanded, obviously the associated driveway and septic system for the main house. And then to zoom in a little bit, subsequent to that in 2017, we came before you with this plan. If you recall, there's a small white farmhouse that was reconstructed. We put a new foundation in, reconstructed that at the time, got the permit. You can see part of that house was within 100 feet of the wetlands. This is a 200-foot water course setback over in here. At that time, we showed, this is the existing septic for the house that was in place, so old stone trenches. We had shown a potential future septic repair area, which is required when you're doing, rebuilding a structure like that. So now what we're here, so that house has been constructed. They got their CO and that's been in use for the last few years. And now what they're looking to do is actually this existing barn here, one closest to the roadway. The foundation, this old stone foundation, is in disrepair. We're looking to basically reconstruct that. And I'll show you. So again, this is the 2017 plan that was approved. And now here you have the current application before you, which will look very similar. The fact that we're in that same area, we have the farmhouse labeled as existing 5-bedroom farmhouse. That was the one that was reconstructed. This is the barn that they're basically going to take the existing barn, jack it up, put it on a lift, put in a concrete foundation and footing, lower it back down. So basically be the same barn, but now to have a proper foundation. They're also going to put a sink and a toilet in there. It's going to function as a little meditation or yoga studio for the owners. Now what that triggers is, because you can see that this is the 100-foot line. So this is the 200-foot line in here. What that triggers now with a new foundation, a proper foundation, and the fact that we're adding a bathroom there, the original septic area needs to be abandoned. And that reserve area, or code compliant area that we showed on the previous plan, needs to be installed. So both the house and the barn would tie into the new septic tank. and into one new leach field out in front in the same place that was previously shown on the code compliant map.
Brian, just
Yep.
a quick question. You're going to completely abandon the existing system?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. We had thought about maybe, continuing with parts of the stone trench that are further away from the foundation. But, and the fact that the new tank has to go in, and we don't know exactly what condition those trenches are, and they go into the hill, so they're probably a little bit deeper than we would like. It just made sense, and we could, because we have good soils there, we could fit, the new system in one trench, 160-foot trench right in front of the house. So I figured it was time just to go with the new updated system. And the first thing we did was contact Torrington, and that was my the way I read the health code, that we would have to install that, and Kathy Weber agreed. And as I mentioned, Torrington Health Department has reviewed and approved the application. So there will be no expansion, no new buildings. It's just, to put a proper foundation under the existing barn and add a toilet and a sink in there. So that's what we're here for. The septic system, you can see from our cross section here, this is existing grade, so it can go right into ground. There will be no filling so the grading will be, excavation, put the trench in and bring it back to original grade. So there won't be any post-development change in grades in that front yard area.
Is that a Manta system you're putting in?
Green leach filter.
Okay.
Yep. We had thought about green leach, we get a little bit more effective area per linear foot. So we wanted the green leach, and the contractor up there is familiar with that product. So they've worked with them before, and they come in. The green leach is one of those proprietary systems where the company comes in and you pay them a fee to help you with the installation.
Brian, how far from the road is that building? That's within the front yard setback, right?
Correct. It is, I'll have to go to my CAD here. It's in about 12.5 feet of that front property line.
I'm gonna have to check to see, because you're gonna be changing the use on that building from uninhabitable to habitable by making it a yoga studio with a bathroom. And I don't know if you're gonna need to go for a variance on this. I need to check the, ZBA. If you are increasing, you're not increasing the nonconformity by foot, by distance, but because you're not changing the footprint, but you are increasing the use of that building. So I need to check the ZBA book and find out what we're gonna have to do about
Okay,
that when the time comes.
understood.
I just
Yep.
wanted to put it out there.
Understood.
But as far as the wetlands is concerned, that's not an issue. The location.
Not for ZBA, no. Mm-mm. And that septic system is also going to be servicing the 5-bedroom house as well?
Correct. And
Wow.
it's basically, so the state health department, anytime you tie two buildings into one system, state health department has to review it, and that's noted in the Torrington area health approval. And basically the concept is it's an accessory use building, so it's not increased occupancy. So if the person they're either going to the bathroom in the house or in the yoga studio, you're not increasing the design flows. So they'll allow.
So it's still a 5-bedroom system.
Still a 5-bedroom system, and they'll allow any accessory uses like this. If you put, toilet in a shop over a garage, or if you have a pool house, again, that they won't allow 2 residences, into one system. But an accessory use, state health department will, and in this case has allowed it. They grant, they call it an exception.
So then they're pretty much, that's what they can do now to that barn. They're not going to be able to go any further with the use of that barn then. Like if they decide, 3 or 4 years from now, if they want to put a bedroom in there or
Yeah,
two in there, they're not going to be
No, it
able
would
to.
have to go to, then it would have to have its own separate system.
Okay. And do they have any plans for the existing barn next to the one that you're talking about?
Not in the, not that I know of. I believe that that's a generator barn. They have some equipment in there. And that's in decent shape. That's in good working order. So there's no plans for that.
Okay. And
Okay.
the existing barn on the other side of the farmhouse, you had raised that one as well, right?
Yeah, that one was done, and I believe the contractor came in for a permit directly for that one.
Yeah, Jay Peck.
Yeah,
Did-
yeah, Jay oversaw that
Right.
one. Then when we, because there was no real engineering, site engineering to do with it. But yeah, that was reconstructed also not that long ago.
And they're using that as their farm stand? Are you-
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Comments?
No.
Okay, well, we need to table this to the next regular meeting anyway, but this looks like a good thorough application, and we thank you very much for that, Brian.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll see you at the next meeting. Are you every 2 weeks or every month?
Every
What-
month.
Every month, okay. So we'll see you in May.
Right, so can someone make a motion?
I'll make a motion to table application 1254-21 to the next regular meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Okay, so moving on to application 1253-21, Jennifer Youngblood.
Hey there.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
Okay, so can you walk us through the application for this?
Sure, I can. And forgive me because I don't have lovely schematics like my
That's
predecessor
okay.
here. But I did submit a few things that hopefully you've gotten a look at in the form of photocopies from the office. So I'm here representing Spectacle Ridge Association. We have a pair of tennis courts that are bounded by Richards Road and Spectacle Ridge Road that have been in existence, I'd say, for about 30 years now, since the association was formed, and they have fallen into terrible disrepair. And we are looking to, we've done sort of patchwork over the years to keep them up to speed and playable. But what we're doing now is going to resurface them fully, sort of rebuild them essentially, but it is on an existing footprint. We're not changing anything per se, and just wanted to be sure that we ran it by you guys because we are located in an area where we are close to South Spectacle Pond, and we just we know from the Kent, forgive me, I'm forgetting the Kent Building Department. Joe Manley there told us that we don't need a building permit to do the work. However, we weren't sure about wetlands, and so we wanted to make sure that we went through all of the steps with
Okay,
your commission in order to make this happen. So
okay. I'm just looking to see if I can find my copy of the plan that was submitted. Donna, have you taken a look at this? You're muted.
oops, yeah, I can't hear Donna.
Okay, I did look at the application, but I've been up there on numerous occasions, but I've not walked the
Okay,
property.
I'm just trying to take a look at it right now. So if it's, okay,
Yeah, I'm
I
so
read through the
sorry.
application, and from what I see from the contractor that's coming in, they're not going to be working outside of the area that is currently the existing tennis court.
Yes.
I didn't,
If they're going to be coming in, they're not going to be excavating material. It doesn't look like they're going to be bringing. They may bring a little material in just to top off. They're also going to, and I think this is going to be your responsibility as the homeowners association,
Yes.
to put an access driveway in and then restore it.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the main things that we're going to be looking at would be any restoration that needs to be done on the property after construction.
Okay. All right.
so the distance from the pond to the tennis courts is 438 feet. Oh, that's just Spectacle Lake. Distance from the smaller pond, sorry, I'm having to go sideways to.
Right. The
Yeah.
South Spectacle Pond is, we frequently call it the lake, but yeah, there's a smaller pond off to one side, but the lake itself,
Right,
Spectacle Pond is quite a distance. Yeah.
okay. So,
Donna, did you check this property against the wetland map? I mean, is this area even in the regulated
I'm
zone?
wondering,
Yes, it
It
is.
is, okay.
Yeah, and I think the last page in this packet does show,
Yeah. I submitted, forgive me for interrupting, I submitted
There it is.
another, there you go. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the little
Yeah.
caption in the left side of that. Sorry, thank you.
Not nearly so snazzy as
that's
everybody
fine.
else.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's
Trying really hard.
no, you
No,
did,
no,
it's fine.
very.
It really is.
fine.
Okay, so we do have to consider this as an application. So do we not need a topographic depiction of the terrain?
It's really flat, I mean, I can get one for the next meeting, if you want. But that is a very level corner, of the lake.
Right.
Let me see if I can,
Just saying procedurally, isn't that something that we,
yeah, I
We
can
asked
print
for?
up, I can print up one of those for the next meeting.
Yeah, it'd probably be good to have as part of the application, but I agree with you. I mean, I think I know where it is and it's quite flat.
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's not.
Yep,
it's
no,
not
you're right, Ken.
Really a
That's-
concern by
that's-
itself. It's
Yep.
just,
Very, very good question.
the plan itself seems straightforward. They've got the silt fence where they would need it. So, I mean, maybe
Well-
have it wrap a little bit more around the property on the north edge or the project on the north edge if the wetland is shaped that way, but it does kind of
Sure.
bulge to the
Sure.
north a little bit,
Yeah.
but
But I think given the fact that we have to table it to the next month's meeting anyway, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get the topo lines in there.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay, thanks, Donna. Anybody else have any
Yeah, I
questions?
think our only concern, I don't think it's a concern from the courts to South Spectacle Pond. I think it's just the vicinity of the other smaller pond that's on the
Yeah.
property.
Yeah.
And like Donna said, I'm familiar with the property as well. It's very, very flat.
Mhm.
But the topos would definitely help for anybody who's not familiar with it.
Just to be sure. I mean, I think
Yep.
given the fact that it's an existing location already, so there's not going to be a tremendous amount of rearranging of the earth. I think, I don't see a problem with it, but we have to wait anyway, so.
Yep. Yep.
Great.
I agree. If we get the topos and we look at it, we could probably move on at next meeting.
It sounds good.
So I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I'm following. The issue in the schematic that you have up right now, you're concerned about the little pond B versus the big lake.
Mhm.
That's something you're taking into consideration?
Yeah, we just want to get
Or-
the, just to get as part of the application, the official, any variance in the grade, the
In
topographical
both of those
line.
directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something we ask for on
Okay.
each of the applications.
Okay, thank you.
It doesn't look like it would be an issue in the least bit. It's just that
No,
it's just makes, if somebody wants to come back later and look at the file, it's all in there.
Sure, sure. Understand.
Just a quick question. I'm looking at the map we have on the screen right now.
Yeah.
And the access, is that a driveway that leads into the tennis court?
Yes, it is. There is another fabulous diagram I made in the April 19th packet that sort of supplements this one. And I'm not sure if that's available. It shows some pictures, some photographs, followed by a hand-drawn,
Yes.
yes, a hand-drawn. So yeah, so if you go, there should be a hand-drawn sort of overhead of the lay of
it's
the
yeah,
land.
it's at the bottom of the last page of the PDF on the Google Drive.
So yeah, so on this screen, what you see here is in the foreground where it says street access and tennis house. So behind these tennis courts is Richards Road. On the left-hand side of them is where Spectacle Ridge Road is. And then the dirt road that you see here is the road that leads down to South Spectacle Pond.
So the construction would be accessed from that dirt road.
Yeah, if this is the one I was hoping you guys could get for me. So you can see from this where,
Yep.
Where the access is going to be placed there. I'm sorry, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see what I'm doing. Oh boy. Oh
So
boy,
the
this is
pond-
a challenge for Jennifer. So you can see where the gate is to this dirt road that you saw in the photograph with the tennis house. And then if you follow that dirt road down, it's just a little cul-de-sac and it goes well down a ways towards South Spectacle Pond itself, the lake pond itself. And then the littler pond we were talking about that you have a little concern about is sort of,
Below where it says silt, cloth and gravel.
correct. It's
In that direction.
east. I guess that would be sort of eastish. Yeah, so that orients you a little bit, but again, forgive me for not being able to give you something a little
Don't
more
apologize.
involved.
I think seems very straightforward and not a
Yep.
problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think if we add the topographics to it,
Yep.
it's,
Agreed.
Yeah, be a slam dunk.
That'd be great. Okay, so somebody like to make a motion to table to the next month's meeting and ask for the addition of the topo lines?
sure. I make a motion to table application 1253-21 with the addition of providing topographic lines to the application to our next regular meeting.
Seconded.
Second, thank you, Ken. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Against? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
We're cruising along.
That's good.
Hopefully I didn't just jinx us.
Okay, application 1255-21, Brian Neff, there he is. If you could walk us through this interesting application.
Okay, this is number 99A Cobble Road, existing house there right now. Owners are proposing to do a tear down, rebuild. basically in a very similar area to where the house is now. It's gonna be a little bit bigger footprint. And the driveways is remaining, actually, it's being reduced a little bit to a smaller footprint, what it is right now. So there's some improvements in terms of the new proposal. The new septic system is 68 feet from wetlands. The current one is 30 feet. So we push that back to give a code compliant distance off the wetlands. The house site wetlands, existing is 99 feet, proposed is 79 feet. So it's about 20 feet closer. Although it's a very flat area where the house is right now, that's going to be preserved in terms of the construction. So I drew up the soil erosion sediment control plan. And maybe Don can put that up on the screen. That shows all the proposed improvements of the property. Existing house is going to be demolished, all debris taken off site. So it's actually a little bit less disturbance of wetlands on this proposal than on the original house construction, which was built in 1983.
What's
So the
wrong
new
with the
owners
house?
just
Why
bought
they-
that from the original
Okay,
owner of the house.
what's the issue with the old house, Brian? I'm just being nosy.
Well, they wanted something that was a little bit more of a kind of a flat, one-story area.
Hmm.
There's a small area of basement that's proposed. It's going to be finished.
Okay,
But the majority is one level.
okay.
In terms of anything else, the existing well is going to remain where it is right now. Shown the proposed limit of disturbance around the perimeter of the house site area. There's a good site for soil stockpile area, actually right near the old driveway that's there. It's quite flat where the house is right now at the top. So it's a good area for stockpiling material, construction. Not a whole lot of grading proposed on this, a little bit of grading in terms of the driveway, but the existing pathway closest to wetlands is going to remain as is right now. It's a paved driveway. So that's going to remain in place. Utilities are already from the shared driveway area up to the house right now. So those can be connected in fairly easily.
There's, oh, I see the proposed septic. Okay.
It's a better distance away from wetlands.
Mhm.
Another part of the application is to do some native plantings between the driveway and wetlands.
Yeah,
They're proposing to do some native plantings, remove the existing invasives by hand.
great.
That area, there's a
Good.
lot of invasives in that area.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a narrow strip that goes along the driveway between the driveway and the wetlands.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Driveway's gonna remain where it is.
Yes. The only change is right up at right where you make the turn up to kind of a rectangular area by the house.
Yeah.
So it's a smaller footprint of the driveway. It doesn't need to be a big circular turnaround. So in terms of lot coverage, it's actually reduced by getting rid of that driveway area that's around the loop right now.
Good. Anybody else have any other questions?
No questions.
Ken Dietz?
I'm just looking it over.
Okay, take your time.
No, I'm okay. The plans are easy to understand.
Okay. Well, whenever anybody's ready to make a motion, we could do that.
Well, if I
Just-
knew the number of the application, I would make a motion to approve it.
You can do that, Ken. It's application
No, wait, this is a
1255-21.
this is a new one as well,
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. We just need we need a motion to
To table it.
table it. I was thinking more about the number of the application. Yes.
Yeah.
Ken Johnson, you could make a motion to table it to the next regular meeting.
I so move.
All right. Anyone want a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, Ken Dietz, very good. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? Okay, thank you, Brian. That's great.
Okay, thanks very much. This is a little side note. The site's very accessible. Anybody who wants to take a ride up the driveway. There's nobody living in the house, so it's pretty easy to take a ride up, drive around the loop, come back out and get
All right, good. Thank you. Okay, moving along. We've got application 1256-21, Michael Dunn for Jerry and Gail Tobin. Is anybody here for that application?
Can you hear me?
Doesn't look like it.
There's
I'm
a,
here.
no, he's here.
Someone was asking. We get Jerem.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Mike, speak
Yeah,
a
you
little.
hear me?
Okay,
you go.
There you go.
Hold on.
we've got two mics here. That's what was a little confusing.
All right,
Okay,
I turned the microphone up. Maybe this is better.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you could just tell us a little bit about your application.
I'm here requesting a farming exemption
Mhm.
for 560 Skiff Mountain Road. I'm leasing the property and in the midst of starting a organic vegetable farm
Great.
and poultry operation. So I'm leasing 5 acres. The property that I'm leasing, there's 2 fields and it's about 300 feet wide and maybe 1,000 feet long. And it buys it right down the middle of it. Going across the 300-foot way is a creek that comes off of a existing pond up the hill, and it is also fed by a natural creek coming down the mountain. And I'll be trying to probably next year establish. Okay, go inside, girls. Sorry. Next year I'll be right now. This year I'm not within 200 feet. But next year I'm looking to establish another half an acre of growing space within the 200 feet setback of the creek, and I'll probably still remain. I don't think I'll ever get within 50 feet of the creek, and it's no dig, no till. The only thing I add is like organic compost and cardboard. I'm not going to be spraying anything, maybe putting out some beneficial insects and stuff like that, but nothing detrimental. I've done enough pesticide work in my life. I don't need to do that anymore. And that term was only about a year, so 1 year was enough for me.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Any questions? I don't know. Do you guys take a look of the?
Yeah, I was reading through it. I was impressed and I'm familiar with the no-till method.
Yeah.
The cardboard you're going to be using for mulch is, where are you sourcing that?
So I was getting it locally, and it was just too labor intensive to remove all the tape and everything. It was where I actually live in Pauling.
Yep.
So here in Pauling, there's a company that does plastic mold injection, and I asked them if they had any cardboard. They use a lot of in-house cardboard for parts and stuff, So I started collecting that, and it had some soy-based ink on it. You know, everything's fine, and it's all, I can use it for my organic. The certification is in process right now. I got inspected last week, so I should be certified by the end of this week. But yeah, it was all certified. So that was way too labor intensive. So I ended up buying 6-foot wide rolls from Uline that are 250 feet long. So
Okay.
I'm just using corrugated cardboard in roll form from
Oh,
Uline.
that answers my question, because I was a little concerned about the ink or anything else that may be, involved with packing tape.
Yeah, anything I was using that had ink was a soy-based ink. So
Donna, do you have any questions about it?
No, none at all.
I think that sounds like a great project. Good addition to the town.
that's what I'm hoping. So
So this is just a request for an exemption. Does that still have to wait to the next meeting, Donna? I guess it should. I don't
Think
See that
so.
would be any
I think
different.
that you can move on it and unless somebody
Oh,
wants to
okay.
take a site walk, but I would think that you could go ahead and move on the exemption at this
Good.
meeting.
Good. That was what I was hoping.
Yeah.
Well, I know the property very well, and I think this is just a tremendous addition to the town, and I don't see that it have any issues at all. So it's clearly farming, so I think it deserves the exemption. I don't see any disruption to the wetlands, so if we can check this one off our list, that would be
Got it.
great.
Mike, did you say you were getting your organic certification next week?
yeah, I was inspected last week on Wednesday, and they came and viewed the property, went through my whole organic farm plan, and then he took some notes and had some concerns about different things. You know, I am also certifying my property in Pauling. I'm certifying the property here. So the only
Yep.
concern was with my property here, because this is where I have my garlic planted. Because I knew I was doing something. It took me a while to find a property, but I have my garlic planted here. I have 3 beds. So he was just concerned with the garlic here, nothing at the farm there. And so once they do final review in-house, then I'll get my certification, but everything's in line.
Can you
and
provide us a
should be
copy of
fine.
that?
Yeah.
When it comes in, of course, yeah.
That would be great.
Can we make any approval of this conditional on that, or is that not
No,
a large enough concern of anybody's?
I don't think we have any say of whether it's organic or not. I mean, we're very
Oh,
glad
okay.
it is, but I don't think in terms of a
It doesn't
farming
matter. It
exemption,
doesn't, it's not a decision point.
no,
Okay.
I don't think that's any of our concern, but we're very much in favor of it, so.
Yeah, yeah.
A little further along in the application, there's a description of farming exemptions, and this, I feel it meets all of the exemptions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. That's why I was wondering why there'd be any reason for having to table it. We just don't often get these exemption applications, so I would say let's go ahead and applaud.
I'll make a motion to approve application 1256-21 for the farming exemption.
Seconded.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Super. Well, welcome to Kent, Mike. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, what
Glad-
I'll
glad
do
to
is,
be here.
I'm gonna send out a letter approving the exemption and I will be returning your $100 check as well.
Okay, and then as soon as I get that certification, I'll email it to you, Donna.
That'd be great. Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you.
Okay, next one, application 1257-21, Hosanna Fox and David Makowski. 310 South Kent Road. Great.
Hi,
Mike, are
everybody.
you gonna, if one or the other of you walk us through the application?
Yeah, maybe I will just walk you through the overall project as one of 2 landowners, and then I'll hand over to Mike for anything more technical. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm going to share with you sorry, where's the share? The
Should
share
be
screen
down on the
button?
bottom.
Yes, thank you. All right. Could everyone see that?
Yeah.
So again, I did this at home on my computer. It is not as pretty, but hopefully it is clear.
That's okay.
So what we are trying to do is put a fence in around that white perimeter, the yellow showing our property boundary. And so that's kind of the ultimate goal. In service of that, we are coming to you about that proposed fill area, which will essentially just level that to make it so that the fence can follow the ground more evenly. And then also just level it out a little bit for easier mowing. And we also want to do a minor upgrade on the parking area. This is already where it says proposed parking area is already an informal parking area, but it gets a little soft and messy. So we just want to kind of even it out and apply another layer on top of it of gravel. And then the only other thing I wanted to note, in addition to any questions that you have before I hand over to Mike, is that, of course, you'll know that on the South Kent Road side, we've got the DOT as our neighbors. On the south side is a private landowner. And on the west side, we have the Housatonic Railroad. So we're kind of engaged with each of them to make sure that we're meeting all of their needs. And we're just coming to you to make sure that we're taking care of the land, of course. So unless you have any other questions, I'll hand over to Mike.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Oh, good. Okay. Mike, can you unmute yourself? Thank you. No, there he goes again.
And actually, while Mike is joining us, I'll just orient you to, I kind of assume that everybody knows where this is because we're right at that corner, but I did include this detail. So we're that buttercream house, on the southwest corner, right across from the really, really old one. So that's where we are.
Another time, I would love to talk to you about that. I'm the curator of the Kent Historical Society, and I've known that house all my life, and you're living in a great neighborhood. So I'd love to connect with you.
You've been on my list to call.
Okay.
So I look forward to that conversation. I have lots of questions and curiosities and one mysterious historical photo the previous landowners left us. So I'm happy to have the details filled in.
There we go.
There we go, Mike.
Okay, Mike.
Okay. So somehow I messed up this computer, which I'm very good at. All I see is a big blurry picture of my ugly face. I don't see where we would be affecting wetlands in any real way. As far as the fence goes, we're just going to drill holes for the posts, which are only 9-inch holes. They would be filled in immediately. As far as the proposed fill area, that is an extremely low area, and it's not a friendly lawn or fence area. It does swale out towards Bulls Bridge Road through where she wants to fix the parking area. We would put silt fence around that just to make sure we protect everything there. As far as the proposed, the parking area, it gets muddy. We would dig out a little bit of the topsoil or whatever crud is there and put a good base in. And it would be rolled and compacted just as any other road would be. And there shouldn't be any issues as far as I can see.
Mike, is the mud coming off the road or where is the wetlands? I ought to know this. It's not,
there's,
isn't it?
There's no wetlands on the property that I can see. I think it's just we're in the regulated area.
Right. So that's on the other side of the tracks though, isn't it?
The other side of the tracks and on the other side of Bulls Bridge Road.
Yeah.
So it's really just in the regulated area. I don't see any effect happening. Again, where we do fill that low area, we would put silt fence around that just to protect anything from going out onto Bulls Bridge Road through that parking area. The parking area would be dug out, filled and compacted instantly within the hour of it being delivered. So it would be a compacted parking area and obviously not effective anywhere else. As far as the state's drainage area, that is just a drainage right away. There's no water in that as we speak. It's just a drain. So it's not a current brook or water path or any. It's just a drainage right of way. So I don't see any water issues. Again, as far as the fence goes, you know, when you drill a hole and put a post in, you fill it right back in.
Mhm.
So there's no chance of any erosion whatsoever.
I was looking at your, the fence installation proposal. I see you're not using any pressure treated. You're gonna be charring the posts and setting them in gravel and stone. The material that you dig out, I assume you're gonna be using probably a hydraulic post hole digger or, you know, something.
Yes, it'll be a post, it'll be an auger on my skid steer.
Yep, okay. So the material that comes out, I assume you want to use any excess material in the proposed fill area.
If you've ever put a post in the ground, even though you drill it out and you put
Yes.
a post in, there's never any left over when you.
Well,
pack it.
I saw that it says that you were gonna refill the hole with stone and gravel, so.
Right, well, we're gonna put some concrete around it, yes. So, or some stone. If there's any leftover material, it'll be immediately put right in a truck and hauled away.
What will the post be made of?
Hosanna, they're gonna be
yeah.
white oak.
It's either going to be black locust or white oak. And we haven't quite gotten that far yet, but it'll be one of the two, and the slats will be white oak.
Yeah, good choices.
Thank you. Yeah. And Paul, just to your point, we specifically chose a fence design where we don't have to use any chemicals or anything toxic. So the idea is to char instead of to use pressure treated, and also just to use, a good wood species. And then also the idea is that the gravel in place of concrete will also kind of help with not only keeping the water away from the wood, but letting the water pass through and drain appropriately as well.
Right.
I have a suggestion that you may want to consider when
Please.
when putting posts in the ground. The last time I built a fence when I lived in Brookfield, I dug a hole and I put a plastic pipe in the hole and then put the wood post down inside the plastic. So it was dry all the way to the bottom of the hole. And that way your posts will last forever. And that fence I built, let me see, I've been up in Kent 25 years, and that was probably at least, so it's almost 50 years since I built that fence, and those same posts are still there. If you might want to consider doing it that
Yeah.
way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's actually a really good recommendation. And I will not take that as an offer to come over and actually help us with the fence.
You kidding me? Ken will be right there to help.
I've done that before.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
So in all reality, the only place that really I can see that really needs any kind of protection is where we fill that low area. Until it grows grass, I think the silt fence around there would be more than sufficient for protection of any wetlands. Again, the railroad tracks are definitely on that west side, and everything's really pretty well protected as it is. And as far as drilling the holes for the fence, everything's going to be cleaned up immediately. So it's not like there's going to be even time for any kind of erosion.
Great.
Can you provide us with just sketched onto here where the silt fence would actually be installed?
It'll be on the west side of that oval where the proposed fill area is.
Yep.
Yes,
Just-
but what I'm
just to
asking is
document
if you
it
could
for the
provide
file.
it- if you could
I mean-
provide it in the application.
Yep, I can amend it and resubmit it.
Great.
Or just submit a new drawing, and then just
Yeah.
like the last applicant that we asked, if you could mark out any topography that on
Just-
here that's
Right.
on the
Just
site when you do that.
I'll just resubmit the map, just the map.
Just the map, yeah, just the photo.
Yeah, no problem.
Super, okay, cool.
Well, you can see,
Welcome.
so we're good. You can see it, if you want to put silt fence all the way around that, it would cause more problems than it would help. So just around that one fill area, I think is more
Right,
than sufficient.
right.
Yeah, just depict it on the map in the application files all we're asking.
Yep,
Okay,
excellent. All right, so we need a motion to table.
So moved.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Ken.
Seconded.
Okay, both Kens, thank you very much. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Good to go. Thank you, Hosanna and Mike.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, where is Ty? I would like to just plain skip over 4F. Item number 4F. What if
We
we?
need a motion to do that.
What is this about?
I make a motion to skip over 4F.
I second the motion. Madam. Okay, let's hear about it.
I submitted my resignation. I took a job in Southbury as the land use enforcement officer.
Great. Well, congratulations. I'm just teasing. You know that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We just
Thank
don't
you.
want you to go. We'd like to clone you.
I
Yes.
appreciate that. I like Kent.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Well,
It
you've been
has.
wonderful, Ty. You've done such an amazing job for us, and I can really slack off on reading the minutes because I know you're going to do a stellar job.
I
Start
know.
paying attention again.
Well, thank you.
That's one. Have you started the new job yet?
No, I start May 3rd, so this is my last week.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
All right. So, Donna, I guess you're trying to put together a committee to do some reviewing.
Yeah.
Interviewing, I mean.
What I did was, I posted it on the town's website and I also posted it on Indeed. And the last day I think is Friday.
Okay.
So what I need is, Lynn will be on it. And I just need one more person from, the Inland Wetlands Commission to participate in the interviewing process. And then I'll have Matt Winter and one person from, planning and zoning will be on the interviewing committee, and then myself.
Okay.
What I'll do is I'll go through the applications as they come in, pick my top 3 or 4, set up interviews, and then go from there. But I'd like to have 2 reps from each one of the commissions.
What would the timeline for this be?
Well, I'd like to be able to get somebody as soon as possible, so I don't need to do both jobs like
Yeah.
I've done in the past for, at one point, I think it was close to 6 months. So, it would be as soon as possible. I would love to be able to have somebody on board by the next meeting.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm not working. I'll
That would be
volunteer for
great.
anything.
And thank you. I've done this many times and it's a really fascinating project. I just am so overbooked right now. I can't, but if you
Yeah,
could.
another month or so I'd be able to, but not right now.
Okay. Thanks,
Yeah,
Kate.
I guess that leaves me.
Well, Paul, do you want to do it with Lynn and Ken, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. So we'll have 2 from you guys.
Yeah, sorry, Congress pushed the filing deadline back to May 17th, so.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll have to do mine.
Yeah, so I don't have a life until then.
Right. Okay, so I just need a motion to add Ken Johnson and Paul Yeager to the interview subcommittee.
I'll make a motion to do that.
I'll second it
All in
before they
favor?
get out.
Yep.
I vote for myself.
Okay. We can do that. That sounds good. All in favor, I guess we all said aye. Nobody's gonna oppose. All set. Ty. Thank you. And I know Lynn will say the same thing. You've just been a joy to work with and a comfort knowing you're there. So good luck with the new job. I think that's terrific.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual. It's
Good.
been fun.
Okay.
It's been good.
Well, thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I guess our last order of business applications is application 1242-20 for 99 Macedonia Brook Road. Jason, can you unmute yourself? Can you hear us? Can you unmute yourself, please?
Do you have a video?
That's him at the bottom, right, Donna?
Yeah. He's talking, but I mean, I've asked him to unmute a couple of times,
Yeah,
so.
he's been talking to somebody else all through the meeting, I think.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because I cannot unmute him. He can only do that himself.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know if he's at another meeting or what he's
I think
doing.
so.
Oh, he doesn't seem to be looking at us. There we, well,
No. That's why he asked to be.
Well, he was last on the agenda anyway.
Yep. Well,
We're gonna have to learn sign language.
I don't think he's looking at us either. Jason? Are you there?
Hello.
Okay, you're up. We're ready for you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can.
I'm sorry about that. So I'm here with Stephen Peters' project. I was trying to email him to see if he could get on the meeting also. I don't know if you recall the last time we submitted the revised plan, we didn't quite get it submitted in time. I went through it. I went through that and with anticipation that we would be able to approve it at this meeting. I also submitted another revision since then. It was a minor revision. And I just would like to review that if I could. I don't know if Donna, if you would bring it up or should I bring it up?
I don't have it. Because I've been on vacation, so.
That's
and I
right. Okay,
didn't-
I didn't know if you could or not.
Nope.
So I'll bring it up. I missed the question. Yes. Well, what we did was we went out and evaluated the driveway with Jim Rollins. We had Jim Rollins out. We dug some test pits all along it to verify that it matched up with what
we got to do one meeting at a time here.
Yeah, I think he's at another meeting.
Yeah. What do we do?
I
Move
don't
on.
know.
Well, that's, yeah,
Yeah.
We move on.
I think we can deny without prejudice, or is that the right term? This is the end of it tonight. He has no more time. The only other things are there any written communications for tonight? Any
Nope.
verbal communications? Well, we're
No,
ready to adjourn.
I muted him. I think we need to let him know that we're not gonna do
Yep.
this.
Yeah.
You know,
Come back to us when
I
you're
did not,
prepared.
Are you there, Jason?
You've got him muted now.
I muted him, yeah. So now I'm asking to unmute him again and he's not responding.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so I think the only thing left to do is the application's in front of us. We can take a motion to, I think in this case, what, deny without prejudice? Is that the term, Donna?
So moved.
Yeah,
All right. Ken, would you second?
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Any further discussion? I forgot to ask about that. Okay, so moved. I think we're ready for an emotion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 8:08 PM.
and I second.
Okay, all in favor?
I.
All right. Well, we're done.
Yeah.
Very good.
Ty, thank you. We're gonna miss
Thank you very much, Ty.
Good luck with your new position.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
come
Thank
back
you.
and see you sometime. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
all right. Good night.
Night all.
Donna.